Hi, my name is Jason and welcome to MyLeaderSource.com. Today we're going to be going over the hammer strength leg press. Hammer strength leg press is a plate loaded machine. As you'll see behind me, there are no pulleys and cables, so be careful when you start to load this machine. Today Nadia is going to help us out with a few reps. How you doing, Nadia? Good. When we get on the machine, we're going to make sure Nadia has a flat back position. When she gets her feet set, she's going to make sure she's anywhere between hip to shoulder width apart, and we're going to talk about a couple different variations. The leg press, is used to mainly target the quads, glutes, and hamstrings, and you can change the emphasis depending on where your foot position is on different parts of the legs. If your feet are wide, you can end up getting a little more of the adductors in the inside of the leg. If you're narrow, you'll hit the quads super aggressive. So with Nadia in position, what we're going to do is first have her press up. She's going to release the handle by pulling up on it and then locking it in place. Okay. And once you hold it in place and pull that thing in, out the other way, excuse me. Yep. Once it's locked, she can begin down into her full range of motion. As she gets to the bottom, she's looking to get as much range of motion as possible, but for safety, we're going to have her stop just about 90 today. She's going to drive up and down, making sure when she gets to the top position, she is just before lockout, not locking those knees, but nice tight quads at the top. Again, coming down to just about 90 degrees at the bottom position. When she's ready to load back up and lock this thing in, she's going to hold her feet, lock the handle back in position, and then lower the actual press down. Okay. Remember, be careful with that handle. It's a little tricky sometimes. Make sure you're locked in place before you put it down. Leg press is a great machine. We can do a lot of different variations with the feet to hit different muscle groups. What you'll find is in our standard starting position, you will work the quads, glutes, and hamstrings. If we have Nadia bring her feet a little closer together and just about 2 to 3 inches apart, you'll find the emphasis will be more on the quad and a little bit in the glute as well, mainly in the quad and glute on this one. The reason is it's going to reduce range of motion, so she won't be able to get as deep into that squat, but she'll still be able to get a ton of work on the quad and glute. So I'm going to have her perform about 2 or 3 repetitions so you can see this reduced range of motion. The thighs will be getting close to the chest, and then she'll drive out of that position. And what she wants to try to do is maintain that nice position with the knees together and drive up. You can go ahead and lock it up, Nadia. Good. Now, if you're looking to get a little more hamstrings involved and a little adductor work or the muscles on the inside of your leg, what she can do is spread her feet out, turn her toes out, make sure her knees are pointed the same direction as her toes. She'll drive through the heel and she'll come down. Now be very careful when you're coming down. You don't want to go so far that you feel that lower back lifting off the pad. Especially with that wide leg variation, you can create some undue stress in the spine. Once she's done, she can lock it up and good to go. So remember, close. We'll get a little more quad glute. If you drop your feet nice and wide or open your stance up, you'll actually get a little more of the adductors and a little more hamstrings involved. Just be careful not to tuck that tail under when you get to the bottom range. Thanks a lot, Nadia. Some of the common faults that you'll see in the leg press. One would be foot position too high or too low on the machine. If she has her feet way up here, again, the starting position and actually engaging the machine to start is going to be almost impossible. As you can see, she's almost at lockout, and even pushing that machine puts her in lockout. So she'll want to make sure she adjusts her feet down in position so that she can actually press this thing into position. All right. A couple other common faults are allowing the knees to come collapsing in on the leg press. We want to make sure that we're not collapsing the knees, that you have a nice solid base, that those knees are staying out over the feet and the knees are pointing the same direction as the toes. Whether you decide to point your toes out or keep your feet straight, just maintain that knee position pointing the same direction as your feet and you should be relatively safe. In conclusion, again, hammer strength is a great machine, plate loaded machine, no cables involved. It's a good idea to probably use a partner on this just to make sure if you want to go heavy, you can get locked in position. Remember, always make sure you're starting in a good position. Legs should be slightly bent so that you're not over pressing, right? We don't want to push and get in those toes to actually extend that machine. So she should have a good position. We're going to have Nadia perform a couple more reps for me real quick. Again, she's going to drive up first, pull that handle up and lock it in position. Once she does, she's going to do about 2 or 3 reps, come down to full bottom position, and then full extension at the top. Try to maintain nice weight back in the heels. Once she's ready to stop, she's going to press it back up in the top position and hold. She'll lock the handle in. Once she does, she can release it down in the starting position. Okay, my name is Jason, and this is Nadia with MyLeaderSource.com. That was your hammer strength leg press.